the way that we're supposed to handle this is flee. We're supposed to get away from it. We're supposed to go as far away as we can. So, we often try to think and say, okay, well, what's the line, right? Where's the line at? Someone often asks this in like a dating relationship. Or we even do this again with things like media. Where's the line? What's too far? And what's so unfortunate is we ask this question and then do this thing where it's like, well, once someone tells me what the line is, then I'm going to get right up to the line, see how close I can get. And as long as I don't cross the line, then I'm still good, right? I mean, we do this in dating relationships. One of the people we do this with is like, well, we didn't actually have sex, right? I'm still a virgin. So, I'm going to come right up to that line, but I didn't do that. So we're good. Well, look, if you're trying to get as close as you can to the line, you're already in sin because you've already disobeyed the command to flee from sexual sin. The command is to flee the other way. So if you're trying to see how close you can get to the line, look, you're already in sin. The sin has begun in the heart, and we're already there. We have this false idea, again, if you're in a dating relationship or maybe you're thinking about a dating relationship, we have this false idea that we have like a right to our boyfriend or girlfriend's body. You think, I thought this way dating. It was like, if she's my girlfriend, then I wouldn't say I have a right. You don't express it that way, but you think this way. Oh, now I have the right to hold their hand. Now I have the right to hug them. Now I have the right to kiss them. You have some kind of rights to their body. And biblically, that's just not the case. You don't have a right to their body. In chapter 7, what we're going to get into, speaking about husbands and wives, Paul says, yes, they do have a right to one another, right? Verse 3, the husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. He says the wife does not have authority over her own body. It's that same word, exousia, power, right, authority. But the husband does, and likewise the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. When you get married, yes, right? Me and my wife always joke, we're like, I've got a license, it's okay. But until then, you have no right. The husband has, if you're dating someone, her future husband will have a right. Right now, the Lord has authority. It's not our own body, it belongs to the Lord. But guess what? You're not on that list if you're dating. You didn't make the cut. You're on the list of rights. And you might say, we're going to get married. We're going to marry each other. Well, when you get married, great. But until then, you're not on the list. And until the point where you make the vows and you sign the paper and you're married, until then, there's someone else's future spouse. And then you're married, there you go. Now you have the right. And I say right, not in an abusive way, not in a, demanding kind of way, but in a way that's the appropriate place for that relationship to take place. And we'll talk more about that next week with marriage. So, okay, where's the line then, right? Well, I'm going to give you a principle instead. I'll give you a principle. Whatever you do with someone, you should be able to stand before Christ and their future spouse in the church and tell them exactly what you did, and they can respond, thank you for honoring them. And if you can't do that, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. Another way to put it is, what would you want your future spouse doing with their current boyfriend or girlfriend? And if you don't want your future spouse doing it with someone else, you shouldn't be doing it with your boyfriend or girlfriend. You might say, what's the line with media? Again, the command is flee. Don't flirt with it. Don't sit there and say, I can watch all this kind of sexual stuff and it's totally cool. Get as far away from it as you can. Look, there's a lot of movies that I haven't seen. There's a lot of TV shows I haven't seen. Some of them it works. We can look it up on IMDb. We skip stuff and we can do that together sometimes. A lot of other stuff is like, it just doesn't work. We just don't watch it. And you know what? It's okay. We survived. Having a godly marriage and a right relationship with the Lord far outweighs any movie or any TV show. There's some that it's like, maybe there's nothing explicit in it, but just the whole tone and the outfits and all the conversation, it's like, this is not helpful. I'm not gonna be able to sit here and watch this on a regular basis and not end up in sin. It just isn't helpful. Why is this such a big deal? Someone's like, man, you are like a little over the line with this, over the top here, Aubrey, just chill out. This is a big deal because we belong to the Lord. That's the bottom line here, that the Lord paid the price for us, for you. And so then our call is that our body now belongs to him, and that we're supposed to honor and glorify him. That's why this matters, that I want to glorify the Lord. He's paid so much for me. He's paid so much for you. You know, when we sin against him and we break that unity, like in a marriage, I don't want to be sinning against my unity with the Lord. I don't want you to be offending the Lord in that way. We want to glorify God with our bodies.